Hi guys, you're here again with Chelsea at Stepping Stones Behavior Guidance. I just realized the last video I made about escape behavior, I did not talk about what to do. So when my video ended up 9 minutes, I was like, whoa, I've gotten good, but I totally forgot to talk about what to do. So this is going to be a teaching strategies about what to do if your child is having escape maintain behaviors. Okay, so watch the last video if you haven't about what, how to extinguish escape maintain behaviors. This video is going to be about the teaching strategies you can give your kid. So talk a little bit about antecedent strategies. So if you know that your child is having escape maintain behaviors, and once you start to extinguish the behavior, so once you start to do the follow through, don't allow them to escape, they are still going to, for a while, keep trying to push it and keep trying to escape. The hard thing about schoolwork with an escape maintain behavior is that, the schoolwork process is that you want your child to engage and to think and to try. And those are behaviors that we can't, we really can't prompt a child through. We can let them know we're not going to let them out of it. However, as far as like them really giving their best effort is something that they're going to have to be motivated for. So a couple of antecedent strategies that you can try is, just feeling out your child's tolerance. So if your kid is able to do, work for 10 minutes, then you really don't want to sit them for 30 minutes without planning in a reinforcer at 10 minutes or a minor small break at 10 minutes. If you are going to give your kid a break, and you know that they tend to have escape maintain behaviors, you're not going to want to be like, okay, it's a 30-minute activity. At 10 minutes, if you do a good job, I'm going to give you a break away. You can go away, and then I'm going to hope and expect you to come back. A better break is a break in place. So that might be like, hey, you got to do your 30-minute activity, but if you do really great for 10 minutes, I'm setting the timer rings. At 10 minutes, you were really trying, doing your best. I'm going to let you have a break now for 1 minute or 2 minutes in that same place. So they still have to stay at the desk or the table or the reading chair or wherever it is, but they don't have to engage in that task, that non-preferred task or activity for a certain amount of time. This way, you're not going to have to worry yourself with you just gave them a break and they know they're coming back for another 20 minutes and now they're going to run around the house and try to not come back. So a break in place is a really good idea. And then another good idea might be setting up a visual schedule for your kid. So depending on your child, the age of them, their cognitive understanding of the concept of time, some kids feel like something is just so awful, it's forever. So just setting up a little chart or something like that, that lets your kid know, okay, it's going to be 30 minutes. And now you segment that 30 minutes in 6-minute chunks. And now you have a chart that has 5 squares. And every 6 minutes, you're crossing off a square. Good job. You only got 4 more to go. Good job. You only got 3 more to go. Just that visual sometimes is very helpful for kids to see there is an end to this. I'm actually cutting down on my time engagement or how many more I have to do. Another really great strategy is, let's say your kid, really doesn't want to do this worksheet, and let's say that it's 20 problems on the worksheet. A lot of times when kids see things that are non-preferred, it just seems so overwhelming. So an antecedent strategy, antecedent strategies are done before the behaviors. So, making the little chart, the visual chart, or, whatever, these are all done before an opportunity of behavior come up, because you already know, based on your data, based on your history, kid is likely to have a behavior when XYZ. So XYZ, you're like, okay, I'm about to present that. Let me put in some of these before or antecedent strategies. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so yes, visual is really a good idea. Okay, so overwhelming. So if it is something that, let's say your kid has to do AR reading and it's 15 minutes, or they have to do, math problems and it's 20 problems, and you know that they don't even try the first run, right? Because, they're overwhelmed by it. So what you can do is, let's say that this is your kid's math sheet. This is their math sheet. It's 20 problems on there, 50, 100, whatever, even if it's 10. You know what? You can say, okay, look, you have to do this many. When you do that, when you do all the ones on this part, then you're going to get a 1-minute break. And then you open it up and you show them, look, you already did that. Now you just have to do this many, and you open it up to the next one. And so it's almost like you're chunking it, or you're making it in manageable segments for your child. That way you decrease the likelihood of the behavior, as opposed to, look, you got to do all of that. And if it's something the kid doesn't like, or they're not really super great at, or they find it very challenging, they may fight even beginning the process. Okay, so these are antecedent strategies you can try. Teaching strategies. So if you know that, let's say like it is reading, and you know your kid doesn't really prefer reading, especially when it's a 15-minute chunk, or they have to read 2 chapters or whatever, then a teaching strategy means that the old behavior, the bad behavior, used to get them a delay, right? So your kid's reading, right? They're reading and they're on the 3rd page and they're just like, I hate reading. I don't want to read it anymore. And they toss the book across the room. Guess what? When they do this and have this behavior, are they reading anymore? They're not. Now, of course, you're going to follow the last video. You're going to follow through. You're going to grab the book and, come over and like annoy them about the reading thing. However, every minute, every second they're not reading, they are technically and actually escaping the reading. So as much as we want to impose on them to continue and not be allowed to escape, there's a certain amount of escape they are going to naturally get, because we cannot make them continue. So an alternative behavior, or a more appropriate behavior to get them a small or minor delay, is what? They can ask for a break. So you would prime them at the beginning, Johnny, you have to do your reading. It has to be for 15 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. But if you feel like you really, really, really need a break, you know what? You're going to be allowed to have 3 breaks during your 15-minute time, okay? Use them wisely. Each time you ask for a break nicely, you raise your hand and say, Mommy, can I have a break? Or, depending on the activity and how verbal your child is, even a child that is very verbal capable, when they get frustrated, it may be a good idea for them to have a visual that's written down, or a picture. Because sometimes when we get emotional, it's hard to find words. Adult analogies. Some people, when they get adult, they say bad words. Why? Because they cannot clearly articulate, when you're frustrated, or when you have all of those emotions, or those different, things going through. So even a verbal child, if when they kind of get worked up, they tend to lose the words, or they're more physical, you may have a card, and it could be as easy as this. It could literally be a piece of paper that you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't really plan anything. Like, what are they going to do appropriately if they need something? Go ahead. And if you tell them this means break, you know what? I'm going to sit it right next to you. You get 3 breaks, okay? But use them wisely. If you pick this up and show it to me and do like this, then guess what? I am going to pause your 15-minute reading timer, and you get 1 minute to just sit there, relax, breathe, daydream, wonder, talk to me, ask me a question, whatever you want. So our alternative is giving the child an appropriate way to get that thing that they want. Sometimes they need that little bit of break in space. They don't know how to get it appropriately, or they think if they raise their hand, or if they say, Mom, I really need a break from reading right now, they know you're going to say, no, it's not time for that. And so it's like, well, I know if I throw the book across the room, I'm definitely going to get a break, at least while she walks over there to get it, So the idea is the alternative needs to be as easy, if not easier, than the bad behavior, the maladaptive behavior we're trying to get rid of. And we need to prime the child. This is what you can do to get that thing that you need. So in this example, it's escape. So you can have them to verbalize, I need a break. You can have them to ask for a break. You could even tell your kid, hey, I know you got to read, but if you want a snack or a drink of water or a bathroom break, you can ask for it, because these are more natural things. Let's say, as an adult, or even a kid in school, you're in a class, it's really boring. Oh my gosh, you need a change of scenery. What do? I gotta go to the bathroom, and you walk really slow. You get yourself a break, kind of get yourself together, splash some water on your face, come back. Okay, now I'm ready to continue. Same thing with our kids. We gotta give them an appropriate way out. If it is going to be a break, I would suggest that you do, like I said, and let them know how many they're going to be able to have, and let them know how long it's going to be able to, how long that break is going to be, depending on the kid and their behavior. Like I said in the last video, a lot of kids, you don't want to give them a break away from the area. However, if you have a kid that you know their compliance is there, you can let them know. You can get a drink of water, or you can, go to the bathroom if you need to. These are appropriate ways that they can kind of get that same need met. And then